Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my show, Good Evening, Indonesia. With me, Anjali Pritarida, and the special guest, Miss Nurul Mahdiyyah. How are you, Nurul?
Good. How about you, Miss Prita?
I'm good too, thank you. And we're going to talking about the phenomenon of Idul Fitri homecoming in Indonesia. Before we begin, we'd like to wish Happy Eid Fitri 1942 Hijriah for those who celebrate. Talking about it in Indonesian, uh, returning home or we familiar with the mudik has become a tradition that all citizens in Indonesia must following from year to year. But as we all know, the world is facing the COVID-19 pandemic, which limit our activity, including returning to their hometown. As we all know, the government has officially prohibited the general public from participating in its homecoming in 2021. The prohibition of the returning home is stated in the circular letter of head the COVID-19 Handling Task Force number 13 of 2021 concerning the prohibition of Eid homecoming in the month of Ramadan and Idul Fitri 1442 Hijriah, which take place from May 6 to 17, 2021. So, Nurul, how do you respond to this policy?
Yeah, thank you, Miss Prita, for the question. I believe the government decision to impose a ban on returning home was right. The community initially objected to this decision because they saw going home as a part of tradition that had to be followed before the Eid holiday. However, the government is working in our best interest by breaking the chain of COVID-19 spread and preventing a spike in COVID-19 patient cases.
Okay, Nurul, I'd like to asking to you, is there any reason why going home in this year is prohibited again?
Yeah, so there are several reasons why this year's homecoming is prohibited. First, based on previous long holiday experiences, there is a trend of increasing new cases with varying rates ranging from 37% to 119%, followed by increase in the death rate. Second, continuing the downward trend in COVID-19 cases in Indonesia over the last 2 months. Third, the elderly are most likely to be exposed to COVID-19 and have a higher risk of death than younger people.
Okay, who is prohibited from returning home? And does the ban apply to all the element of society, or are some people granted permission to return home?
Nah, great question, Miss Prita. All members of the community, including ASN, TNI, Polri, BUMN employee, BUMD employee, private employee, and the general public are prohibited from returning home.
Okay, are there any exception? I mean, what the criteria and condition?
This time, non-travel passenger trips are exempt from the homecoming ban, work or official travel visit from sick families, visit from bereaved families member, pregnant woman accompanied by one family member, and interest in accompanying childbirth are all limited to a maximum of 2 people. Indonesian migrant workers and students, as well as students studying abroad, are permitted, as in the return of people of special reasons. Aside from aside from that, people with certain non-mudik interests will have a certificate from the local village head or lurah are exempted.
Okay, if we see in this case, are there any sanctions for people who are receptive to going home?
Yeah, the government has imposed a ban on going home from May 6 to May 17. If there are people who wants to go home, it can be done before May 6 because the government has not implemented a ban on going home on that day. And if there are still motorists who are desperate to go home on May 6 to May 17, in addition to the permitted criteria, the government will apply a U-turn rule, aka directing the rider to his hometown. And private cars carrying passengers or illegal travel will be subject to 2 months imprisonment or a fine of 500,000 rupiah in accordance with Article 308, number 22, year 2009.
Okay, Nurul, was there any supervision on May 6 to 70 May at the vulnerable point for homecoming riders?
So, Ms. Prita, supervision on land will be carried out at isolation points at 333 points on the main access points for the exit and entry of toll and non-toll routes, passengers transport terminals, private port, lakes, and crossings. Meanwhile, supervision in sea, air, and rail transportation is carried out at points of departure such as airport, ports, and station, and the circulation of information on the path of the routes that the rider will pass so that police supervision will be tighter.
Okay, it means we are all gonna be stuck in the city. And then, what activity are allowed to during the 2021 Eid holiday? What are you suggested, Nurul?
Of course, Miss Prita, there are many things we can still do when going home is prohibited, such as going to malls, tourist attraction, and gathering with small families. 80% of mall and local tourist attraction have implemented social distancing and health protocol. And we must also implement 3M. It's better if we do quality time with our small family at home. Then what will Miss Prita do during the Eid holiday?
Thank you for the question, Nurul. For me, I will just get together and enjoy the atmosphere of Eid with my little family. Help break the chain of the coronavirus so I am at home. So, what do you think about our anticipation so that we can still enjoy the Eid holiday without fear being exposed to the coronavirus?
That sounds fun, Miss Prita. It's better for this year's Eid holiday together with our core families. We can take advantage of technological sophistication if we want to give news to relatives in the village, such as with video call. And if we want to visit the mall or local tourist attraction, we are advised to maintain the health and 3M protocol.
Okay, thank you for the joining to my show and thank you for giving your opinion to us, Nurul.
You're welcome, Miss Prita, and thank you for allowing me to attend Good Evening Indonesia show.
Okay, okay, I hope all of us will always be given help and protection by God, and I hope the situation will recover soon, that we can carry out our activity as usual and the world will return to the normal. Thank you and goodbye.